Welcome to 49ers Live tonight on Niners Radio 49. And this segment is presented by Rockton. Rock You. It's a shop online in stadium. 10% cash back at 49ers team store. Join free for today for free. So your San Francisco 49ers getting ready to take on the Arizona Cardinals for as we begin in week 4 of this 2024 NFL season for your defending NFC champion San Francisco 49ers. And our guest on 49ers Live tonight on Niners Radio 49, he is a writer. He cover all Arizona sports for the Big Sports Talk, Big Sky Sports Network or Big Sky Sports Talk. David Murphy, how you been, Murph?
I've been pretty good, buddy. It's good to be on the show. I've become a regular now, right?
Well, yeah, we're trying to get everyone from the NFC West. We tried to get Sam Farmer for the LA Times. He was not available, so we're trying to get at least one person representing, covering the team from the NFC West. Yep, so the 49ers. So what's been going on with the Arizona Cardinals?
Well, obviously, the record isn't necessarily what you want it to be, but I like the leadership from Kyler Murray. Obviously, he's matching up well with Marvin Harrison Jr. 4 touchdowns in 4 games up to this point for Marvin Harrison. So that's simple math, averaging a touchdown per game. Obviously, he would like to have more, but I like the drive for the young man. After that big game against the Rams where the Arizona Cardinals hadn't, and this, you might find this interesting. So there's never been a time where the team named Arizona Cardinals have ever beat the team named Los Angeles Rams. The last time the Cardinals beat the Rams at home is when they were the Phoenix Cardinals, and the Rams weren't from LA, they were from St. Louis, as you know. So that they've never beat them at home as the Arizona Cardinals and as the LA Rams. And that's pretty interesting. But obviously we know that Marvin Harrison and Kyler, they had a connection. They absolutely, went off in that game. A lot of happiness to a lot of fantasy owners for sure. But one thing that Marvin Harrison said after that game, he said, I saw that Kyler had 4 incompletions after that game, and they were all to me. He said, we can't have that. I got to be better. And, you just love that. As a football fan, you just love that from a young man that just absolutely gets it and understands, hey, Kyler had, in the NFL terms, a perfect passer rating in only 4 incompletions and some touchdowns. And the young man says, I have to be better because all of his incompletions were to me.
Okay, we're going to take a look at that highlight from last Sunday. Murray throwing his 100th career touchdown pass.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to bust out the rolling highlight right here. We're going to show you that clip just a moment, and we're going to this is for the viewers at home. We're going to size it up so everybody can take a look at it. And
Harrison pulls it in. Touchdown Cardinals. Murray with his 100th career touchdown pass.
So that's, I believe that's the voice of the Arizona Cardinals, David Pack, right?
Yeah, that's Dave Pasch. Dave Pasch is ESPN.
Dave Pasch.
Getting Detroit on their heels a little bit.
First down on the 27.
And then there's another highlight we've seen over here This is another highlight. We'll see that highlight one more time. In fact, we're going to play the full. Yeah, here we go. Here goes Harrison. Is that or no? That was Larry Fitzgerald. There's some old highlights, and then there's another one to Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah,
had to be a few years back.
Oh yeah, they're the Cardinals have recently on their YouTube page and all their other pages. Every last one of Kyler Murray's 100 touchdowns, from his first one to David Johnson to his 100th to Marvin Harrison last week, and unfortunately it came in a loss, but that's still a pretty big accomplishment, considering we all know the NFL is a very, very difficult league. A lot of people say NFL stands for not for long. The average span of a player is 3 years. That's a big deal, And like I said earlier, I really like the leadership that I've been seeing of Kyler Murray. It's not just him as a runner or him as a passer, but he's using the noggin, and that's what I like. He's making the right read, the right move, right decision, just about every play, and that's something that Cardinals fans are not used to, or at least they shouldn't be. And from my perspective, and I'm very, very tough on Kyler Murray, and I'm not a Kyler Murray hater.
Oh, I bet.
But there's a bar, and you want him to reach, if not be above that bar. And this year he's looking pretty darn good, and they got to get some things figured out. But no doubt, the way they're playing is not necessarily indicative of their record currently.
Right. I mean, the Niners are going to have their hands full because they're at a stretch where this will be 3 of the next 4 games. I mean, they lost to the Rams, which they gave that game away almost 2 weeks ago when they had a 4K lead. They were able to come back and beat the Patriots. This is an important divisional game because, they're already 0-2 in the conference. You do not want to fall 0-2 within the division because of tiebreakers. Then after they play the Cardinals, then they have the short week. They're going to play Seattle 1 week from next Thursday night, 6 days from now, and then they'll have that as a reward. They're going to have that mini bye week before they take on the Kansas City Chiefs in the rematch of Super Bowl 58 and 54 and 58, 2 weeks from this coming Sunday.
Yeah, and a lot of people put some stock in the mini buy, and it really, does make a pretty big difference. So, especially if you are banged up like the 49ers are,
yes.
Then there's a lot of guys that if you look at the injury report, there's a lot of guys on that injury report. Some big names, some smaller names, some third string guys and whatnot. But this 49ers team comes in very, very banged up, and a lot less, I would say, than a week or so ago. You had Debo out and already this year, but it's they're getting healthier, but still, you're looking up and down that injury report for the 49ers and the Cardinals. There's a big difference in how many players are injured for their respective teams.
Yeah, because in fact, we're gonna right now, if we have the chance, we're gonna cue this clip up. Our video, all video footage is courtesy from Fox Sports and on the Arizona Cardinals radio network. ESPN, what again?
They're Radio, let's see, I'm not sure exactly. Hold on. The Arizona radio is 98.7 FM. Arizona Sports, they use
ESPN
the Arizona Sports.
98.7 FM radio. Okay. And right now, we're going to do a segment right here. This is the injury report by 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan. I'm going to put it on our we're going to listen to the injury report right now. This is from his Friday practice, and this is coming from 49ers.com. And this is Kyle Shanahan discussing about the team's injuries update for Sunday. We're going to catch this piece right now. So hold on, just waiting till this thing downloads. Give me 1 sec. Here we go. Or wait a minute. So this is an important division game. I mean, just tell me about the coach though for the Cardinals. Things are starting to improve. The last time we talked.
Yeah, I really like his passion and his competitive edge, and the way he responds to the media as well. He's very respectful, but he holds his cards close to the vest like any other coach, but he means business. He's a business-minded guy, 24/7.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot. When we talked 2 years ago, it was just so much had happened with the whole sexual harassment scandal in the Cardinals organization. Things are starting to kind of subside a bit.
Yes, they are. And if you're a fan, then that's exactly what you want. I don't think any of the guys in that building really pay attention to it too much. It can be a distraction, but I think it's more of a kind of the back of your mind distraction. But since majority of the folks that are in that building, Monty Ossenfort, the GM, Jonathan Gannon, the head coach, and majority of the players, they weren't a part of it. So, why does it matter to them? It doesn't. The only person that should care anything about it at all is owner Michael Bidwell, and so we'll see what happens. There's still more of an investigation that needs to happen, and will happen, and we'll see what happens when everything is said and done. But it's pretty quiet right now, that's for sure. No doubt about it.
Yeah. Well, last year when the Niners played the Arizona Cardinals, it's going to be hot out here in the Bay Area. Another heat wave coming in. I'm going to go out tomorrow over to Berkeley to see my Miami Hurricanes play the Cal Bears in Berkeley. It's going to be the first time I ever get a chance to see the Miami Hurricanes in person. I've been waiting for a lifetime. I've been on Hurricanes. They've been my college football team since 1989. That same year, the Niners went on to win their second consecutive Super Bowl, which is a little bit of a tidbit. The Miami Hurricanes played the Sugar Bowl on New Year's Day, January 1st, 1990. They played Alabama. They win that game, and plus Notre Dame upsets Colorado in the Orange Bowl that night. So Miami was awarded or undisputed national champions. And the reason why I say that, because Miami ended up winning the Sugar Bowl down in New Orleans, which was the same site of the Niners some 3 weeks later with their 55-10 demolition of the Denver Broncos in Super Bowl 24. So it was a perfect match for me.
Oh yeah, tomorrow's game should be a big one, and for a lot of reasons. ESPN's Game Day will be there, so
yep.
If you are a fan of college football, you don't want to miss that. Game Day does not come to the West Coast very, very often, and most certainly they don't come to Berkeley very very often. So if you can catch that, I most certainly would. But it's going to be an early one because they get rolling. I mean, on TV, 7 o'clock in the morning. So you want to get out there between 5 and 6, if not earlier than that, and you're basically out there, majority of the day. And if you can, any college football fans out there, that's where you want to be. But pack a lunch. It's going to be a long day, but because
7:30
like
Pacific
said,
and 10:30 Eastern. So I believe there could be some Hurricane fans out there coming out in the Bay Area, and I can't wait to tailgate with them and just enjoy that moment because I've been waiting for this. Dave Murph for a long, long time, and I never thought, but because of uncircumstances, something you have no control over, when the ACC invited Stanford and Cal to come in their conference, I said, whoa, at least I'm going to get to see Miami come to the Bay Area once a year.
Oh yeah, and plenty of other ACC teams that have been a part of the conference for a long time. I'm sure you probably within the coming years you'll see Clemson coming around. You'll see you'll see I'm drawing a blank, but Florida State. But boy, what a down year they have had compared to last year.
Cal competed with them. Cal competed with them.
Things.
Cal competed with them. So, but it's going to be a big takeover. I know for the Hurricanes Nation, it's going to be a big takeover, and I will be wearing my Frank Gore number 3 Miami Hurricanes jersey. Which, by the way, Frank Gore will be inducted into the 49ers Hall of Fame. He will eventually get into the NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame. And Patrick Willis, who was the newly inductee this year, will get his Hall of Fame ring at halftime. They'll have a ceremony. It'll be 49er Alumni Weekend as well. Niners, by the way, will this just come in earlier in the day. They say because of the conditions, the Niners requested that they wanted to wear their white 1984 throwback jerseys because of the heat, but the NFL said can't do it because they submitted it in early in the year. So the Niners are going to wear their 1994 red their color rush jerseys. They're going to wear their white pants because they want to reduce the heat, because it's going to be. You think how bad it is when the Cardinals used to play the out there at Sun Devil Stadium before they moved to State Farm Stadium, and they used to wear their white jerseys a lot.
Oh yeah, and that field level temperature is going to be, and usually is a lot hotter than what it is, outside the stadium or anywhere else in the stadium. That field level is going to be pretty toasty.
Oh yeah, I mean, have you ever gone to an Arizona Cardinal game at the old Sun Devil Stadium?
I have not. They, I'm old enough to. I'll be 35 in just in about a week. But
happy birthday! So
I was very young. I was very very young when they were at Sun Devil Stadium. And I wouldn't say I wasn't a football fan, but I was just young. I just didn't know.
Right.
Quite young to be super invested into any kind of sports at the time, and it wasn't something that my dad, uncle, or grandfather said, "Hey, want to go to the game," and it didn't really happen a whole lot. So that has a lot to do with it. Now, I think that if I was a little bit older when they were still there, I definitely could have been more apt to go to a game, but it would have been pretty brutal, and from what I understand, very very hot. So I know a lot of
Larry
former
Fitzgerald
players from way back then. they know how hot it is, and they understand what it's like in those temperatures. Obviously, now they play inside, so that's going to be a factor for Cardinals players now going into your neck of the woods and getting ready to play a scorcher.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, well, last year when the Niners played the Cardinals decided to wear their white uniforms at home at the last minute, and the Niners went with their red.
Yes.
At down to what,
and
what was the story about that?
I'm not entirely too sure, and I'm kind of surprised that it even happened because like you said, the NFL will sometimes shut that down. You have a preference of what you want to wear, and they said nope. But I knew there's a big difference going from your alternate uniform or your away uniform. This year they have the all white versus a throwback. So for you at that time they might have shut it down mainly because it was throwback and quote unquote unapproved at the time.
Right.
I mean, I think it could be a number of different reasons for why uniforms are approved, unapproved, and the decision that they make. It's no different than when you go to games with an open roof and not open roof. It's usually predetermined, and the roof will be open or it won't be open. Same, State Farm Stadium can do that. Or if you go to Chase Field for the Diamondbacks, they have the roof open or the side panels open or both. And the MLB knows about it, but I think it's at the discretion of the team. And I do wonder if that's what it was. Is that what they felt like? Hey, this is what we're going with. The NFL approves of it, so let's go ahead and make the last minute change. The uniform for all these different teams right now, they're sharp. The home away, the alternate. It doesn't matter what team it is. They're all very, very sharp, and these players look good, play good. That's what they go by. So I think they were fine either way.
Yeah, and then there's another thing. The Niners they'll be wearing the 94 back-to-back games. They'll be wearing them on Sunday. This was a last-minute change-up because of the heat. And then they'll go up to Seattle next Thursday night, and they'll be wearing those throwbacks, the white version ones as well. So I hopefully maybe next year, because the Bay Area traditionally always get their Indian summer around this time of the year. I think for Kyle Shanahan, next year when the schedule comes out, you should use the month, maybe from September through October. You wear your whites for the first half of the games, like 4 games. Then the second half, you just wear your red. I think that makes sense, though. But hey, they whatever works, though, because when you wear those dark uniforms, color uniforms during those heat waves, it's not pretty.
No, not at all.
But then so looks like I'll be wearing my 1994 Brent Jones number 84 jersey on, because I was going to wear my regular Anquan Bolden until this came up, because Bolden did play for the Cardinals, and of course he got a Super Bowl ring with the Baltimore Ravens. So I'm going to be going with my Brent Jones jersey.
There you go. I don't think you can go wrong with either of those jerseys, and whatever you feel like wearing. I know you're going to wear it loud and proud at every game that you attend, and so that's where I can metaphorically tip my hat off to you, Brian.
Yep. And now we look at these. You got any information on the Cardinals with their injury status for this week, for this Sunday? I'm on azcardinals.com. So I want to see what's out there. By the way, the Niners, we won't have you after tonight. We will not have you back on our podcast till it will not be till the new year will be the week that it will not be till the new year. It'll be just a couple days after Monday Night Football because the Niners will play the Detroit Lions on Monday night. Then they'll play the Lions on Monday night. Then it's the that that short week. New Year's Eve will be on a Tuesday. New Year's Day on a Wednesday. Yeah, it'll be right on that week of the New Year, the last game of the regular season, where that game may have some significant for playoff positioning. Who knows?
Oh yeah, and as we both know, January and December football it comes down to the wire. It sets you up for playoffs. Games get flexed in. Some games get flexed out because of other playoff implications. So who knows? We know the day. We don't know the time, and it won't be official for a while because, like I said, it could be flexed into a prime time. There could be a different game that the NFL deems is more important, and so it could be flexed in right now and then flexed right out later. So stay tuned in to see what's going to happen. But as per your question for the injury breakdown for the Cardinals, my eyes automatically go to a couple of different players. One of them, offensive lineman, usually plays on the right side as a tackle. Kelvin Beachum has still been battling with the hamstring injury. Did not practice Wednesday, was a limited participant Thursday and Friday, and is questionable. We'll see how he's feeling and if he'll play. The other one being Matt Prater with the left knee. He did not practice Wednesday and Thursday and was limited on Friday, also questionable. Garrett Williams, corner, he did not practice at all this week. He is out with the groin. And then the other player that I pay attention to is Trey McBride, the tight end. Been battling with a concussion. Was limited on Wednesday, was a full participant Thursday and Friday. No game status designation right yet. But if he passes protocol, obviously he will play, which is great for Kyler Murray. It's a player, a target that he finds early and often, and it's not just Marvin Harrison Jr., and he'll be a sight for sore eyes as Elijah Higgins, the backup tight end, has made some sparks, but did not play too well last weekend. So it'll be great to have Trey McBride. Those are the players that I look at. Those are the players that I'm watching. If those guys, other with the exception of Garrett Williams, that is already designated as out, can be big for the Cardinals. Obviously, Matt Breiter's been kicking for a long time, and it's always good to have one of your starting offensive tackles, offensive linemen, no matter where they play up and down that line, in there. And Kelvin Beachum is one of the best.
Yeah, and then also I'm trying to think, because the Niners coming in here, they've been on a roll lately. They've beaten the Cardinals now the last 4 games. And they are slowly starting to make, hopefully, with a healthy Kyler Murray and, Buda Baker, Buda Baker, I mean, who knows? I mean, this is an important game for the divisional record. The 49ers, of course, they're going to be playing back-to-back division games within a 4-day period before their mini bye, and then right after this, the Niners will play the Chiefs in the rematch of the Super Bowl. Then they play the Cowboys before their bye week.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and just like anything else, there is a lot of importance in these divisional games. Not just a conference game, but a divisional game is a lot of importance on it for, as you said earlier in the show, tiebreaker reasons, and it could absolutely be huge. And the better you are in your divisional game, likely you will have a chance to win your division and get in the playoffs. And all you have to do is get into the door. That's all any other team asks is to try to get their foot in the door in the playoffs, because you never know what will happen in the playoffs. And the best way to do it is win those divisional games, because you have about half your season is divisional games, and you go undefeated in that, which is impressive in itself. You're already on the right path.
Right. And also, yeah, and also also you and then also pretty much we covering so much. How about the defense for the Cardinals?
The defense, well, with the exception of last week against the Commanders, like I said, that was a rough game, a 42-14 loss, a game that you just kind of you take what you can from the film, and essentially you just flush that one and bury it, because it was just a no good game. But so with the exception of that, the defense has been, in my opinion, the shining star. Yeah, yes, you have those connections of Kyler and Marvin Harrison Jr., but you lose a close one on the road in Buffalo, 28-34. Obviously, you have a dominant win against the Rams, which I've already talked about. A close one against Detroit, losing 20-13 at home, and it's a very good opponent, the Detroit Lions, as we know.
The team that went to the NFC Championship last year.
Yep, you flush the Commanders, and so now's your chance. You're back on the road, as we've been talking about all show, against the 49ers, and this is as big as it comes. A great 49ers team, a team that has been a solid team for the last just what
5
seems
years.
like you guys been half decade or longer of a really solid team. So a big opportunity for the Cardinals. They always say defense travels, and so I'm expecting the defense to have another great game. And we just got to hope that if you're a Cardinals fan, the offense is rolling. And you have an opportunity with plenty of 49ers out, a lot of them injured, a lot of them questionable. We don't know what's going to be happening with them. Some of them have designations, some of them do not. So you
McCaffrey's
going
to
there
be
and
out.
You take
he's going to be out
advantage
till at
of
least
a
November.
You take advantage of a banged up team, and we always say, and no one's going to feel sorry for you. When you're banged up, you got as a 49er fan, you got to figure it out. As a player, you got to figure it out and make things happen. But even with all those guys banged up, the 49ers are very, very dangerous, and they don't just look dangerous on paper, but they're dangerous on film, and that's where it really counts. So if you ask my opinion, I'm hoping for a Cardinals win, but I think the 49ers are going to take this one, and it's going to be absolutely huge as they go into the following weeks.
An important game because the Niners are right now a game back. The Seahawks lost on Monday Night Football, so this is a game. They need to get back within a game, and by the time they get ready to play Seattle, because they've now owned Seattle in recent times, though, because they're not the same team without Pete Carroll, that whole Legion of Boom, etc. So, well, we always love to have you on, Murph. Tell us if you want to catch all Cardinals and Arizona sports. What's your was it Big Sky Sports, right?
Yeah, if you want to catch me on anything, and I'm looking to try to get more involved. It's been sadly a little while since I've done any podcasts, but I'm always got my ear out for anything that I can talk about. But yeah, anything Arizona sports, Big Sky Sports Talk. If you want to get in touch with me directly, as Big Sky Sports Talk at gmail.com. I'm on all the socials at Big Sky Sports Talk. You can just type that in the search bar. You'll find me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And then I'm as well as YouTube. I'm on YouTube. Just search Big Sky Sports Talk. I'll be found there. But the podcast is Spotify, Apple, YouTube Music. Used to be Google, but Google switched everything YouTube Music. But pretty much anywhere and everywhere podcasts are found. So Facebook, all of it, at Big Sky Sports Talk, or just type in Big Sky Sports Talk in the search bar. I guarantee you'll find me, and it is not very difficult. So I appreciate the likes, the follows, getting involved in the conversation. I'm always looking to get other people on the show, or at least if you send me something, I might share it on the podcast. I'd love to get involved in the conversation. I don't want it to always be just me, because quite frankly, sometimes me just staring straight ahead into the camera, or straight ahead at my desk, at my my board here, or at my laptop, it can get kind of boring. But I would like to, as many people that like to chime in on any topics that we're talking about. And if you want to join the show, get in contact with me. Like I said, Big Sky Sports Talk at gmail.com. I'd love to have you. It doesn't matter who you are, old, young, rich, poor. It does not matter.
Yep. So I'm going to be, of course, also going to be doing Cal Golden Bears baseball. Hopefully be on their broadcast team for this coming new year. I'm going to be doing some fall play-by-play on the side. Going to be doing some public address announcing for my alma mater high school up at George Washington, across town in the outer Richmond district. Help them out a bit. So October, it never ends. You know, it never ends. I'm gonna have to do, and I'm gonna have to miss a couple, at least one, maybe two. Public address gigs for high school football at my alma mater, because I got to do some Cal baseball, do some fall practice, do some practice games just to get me tuned, just get in that repetition, like you're taking a lot more ground balls.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So, you know, yeah. So pretty much we covered just about everything. I'm going to get ready to let you go, but we won't talk again till like that first of the round in 25, that new year, to the last final weekend. We will know where the Cardinals and the Niners are going to be at that time.
Yeah, absolutely. And then if you ever want me on for anything else, I'm not just good for Cardinals, but like I said, I cover everything.
I know Arizona Diamondbacks, right?
Yeah.
Too bad what happened with the Diamondbacks.
Oh yeah, that was a rough one, but you know. But it didn't even have to be Arizona Sports. So my podcast is Arizona Sports, but if you ever want me to join you, Brian, I'm 100% available to join you on anything.
I definitely want to come on. I think I need to owe the favor. I need to come on Big Sky Sports when we play the Cardinals, kind of like share my for the next podcast as well.
We definitely need to do that.
We're definitely. You know, it's funny. I'm gonna be getting word email hopefully the next few days. I could be up for this awards thing.
Nice.
My goal is trying to get some kind of an entrepreneur business this business grant so I could just because I've been wanting to get that road system you was telling me about and some other things I have to do, and
Yep.
I got a lot to do on that bucket. That would be huge, but I'm not worried about that right now. I'm focusing on the present, getting these
Sure.
consistently on these podcasts, is getting it
Yep.
out to the community, and we have a good. And I'm getting ready to do my next tailgate show next Sunday. Oh my, it's going to be brutal out there in Santa Clara because of the heat.
Sure.
It's going to be down in Santa Clara, so you know, lots. A lot of good things. I did some over the summer. I did some college baseball, summer ball postseason. Did some play-by-play. So
Hmm.
it never ends. I'm just trying to land, try to sharpen
Sure.
try to sharpen my skill. Because I mean, one time I remember 1989. Giants were playing the A's, and this month marks the 35th anniversary of the earthquake that
Hmm.
interrupted prior to Game 3. I was at that time was in junior high, middle school. Uh,
Mm.
they shut down the World Series. It was suspended indefinitely because of the damage and all that. So, Tony La Russa, the manager of the A's, he had Jose Canseco, Mark McGuire, Ricky Henderson, Dave Stewart.
Hmm.
Between the time of when the World Series stopped, he flew the entire organization to Tempe, Arizona, in Phoenix. That's where
Hmm.
now the site is now where Arizona State baseball play at the old A's spring training
Yep.
facilities. Uh, they scrimmage each other. And I think it was good the scrimmage, get their work in, the pitchers, and be mentally sharp when once the series was resumed.
Hmm.
And that was the point. Is I'm trying to do the same. I'm doing to stay
Sure.
sharp doing these practice games just because you never
Oh
know.
yeah.
They may
It's
it's a
important.
volunteer thing, but you never know. They may
Sure.
elevate, maybe get me to do some radio games on the road. I've never been east of the Mississippi, so we'll see what happens. But I'm just focusing
Sure.
on this Sunday's game, and then we'll go on after that. But it's great that I love doing podcasts. It's the best thing to do. Work remotely from home, and
Sure.
yeah, yeah. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yep. So we're gonna get ready to wrap it up right now, Dave. I gotta cover a few more things related to the Niners, and you take care of yourself. We'll catch you again down the road sometime in the new year
Sure.
when the next time we talk will be 25 because that'll be the last weekend of the regular season because the Niners will be playing the Detroit Lions on the December the 30th, exactly the day after my birthday for that Monday night game, and then it's
Perfect.
the short week, and they'll play the Arizona Cardinals in that at a rematch
There
of
you
that
go.
NFC Championship game. So,
There you
like
go.
they say, no breaks, and we keep on like the great song by Eddie Kendricks, "Keep on Trucking." Hey, talk to you soon, Dave.
All right. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate you. Always a
All right.
pleasure. And always love being on the show. Anytime you need me, let me know. Don't matter what it is or what it's for.
All right. Well, hopefully, on our sister network, our main flagship, we'll maybe do some baseball hot stove coming up in the off season. So
Okay.
after the World Series or sometime in December. So talk to you. I'm gonna catch some of your podcasts though.
All right. Perfect.
All right. That is Dave Murphy from Big Sky Sports. Check him out. YouTube, all the outlets. And Brian Professor B. Davis as we continue on 49ers Live on satellite or on Niners Radio 49 as we say goodbye to Dave Murphy from Big Sky Sports Network. Now we're going to dive into the Niners as they get ready to take on the Arizona Cardinals. And this is an important game as a divisional game, back to first of consecutive divisional games. By the way, in case you didn't hear earlier in the day, 49ers will be wearing their 1994 throwback uniforms because of the extensive heat wave. It's going to rock the Bay Area once again. This coming weekend, tomorrow on Saturday and Sunday, and we're going to they'll wear their 1990. They requested to wear their all white uniforms at home against Arizona, but the NFL said no can do because they submit those requested early in the day. So they get to at least get to wear their 1994 throwbacks, and they get to wear their white pants to help cool off. So from now and right now, we're gonna hear from Kyle Shanahan's press conference as the Niners get of the injury report as they get ready for the Arizona Cardinals this Sunday at the Mecca. So I'm gonna put this out there. And
Chris Conley doubtful, Jacob Cowing questionable, Kittle questionable, Fred Warner questionable, Clea Davis questionable, Isaac Yiadom questionable. Go ahead.
Do you expect to move Kalia to the 53-man?
Yes.
With Flanagan fouls, he's out, right? Who becomes the backup linebacker? Middle linebacker.
Who does?
Yeah.
It's a secret.
This then, how has Tatum Bethune been? What have you guys seen from him since training camp and these games?
He's been good. He did a good job at backup Mike linebacker to the backup during preseason. Runs the huddle well. He's mixed in there throughout the week, especially with Fred not being able to practice much. So he does a good job. Where he's needed, he'll be ready.
Do you expect to call up Trent? I'm sorry. Do you expect to call up Trent to return punts?
There's a chance. Trent's an option. Juice is an option. Jake's an option. Ronnie Bell's an option. So we still don't know about Jake yet. But if Jake can't go, all those other guys are choices too.
Well, there's a lot of different pass plays and all these different route combinations. Who does do you just devise them and design them, and where in the process is this off-season stuff, or does it happen like in every week you devise all these different route combinations?
We have the foundation of the stuff we work on. We do all off season, just how we distribute guys. So the quarterback gets good at it, the receivers get good at it, and then we usually study the coverages on Monday and Tuesday, and we do most of that on our own. Get together later on Tuesday afternoon and decide which ones we're going to finalize, mainly based off of what our players are good at. Well, first of all, what we're going against. And then what we're going against to see what we like with our players. And then we do the same thing the next night for third downs, then we do the next night for red zone. So it's a little bit of everybody.
How has the absence of Christian McCaffrey impacted the offense in the red zone in particular?
Kind of the same way as the rest of the field. When Christian's out there, it's easier in everything you do. But, he usually is pretty automatic in his one-on-ones. And that's why, when you have players like Christian, I think it helps you know what you're getting a little bit more. That defenses understand how good he is in one-on-one, so you expect two people to be there, which helps you with other places, and just helps you know what you're getting a little bit better.
With the, I think the latest forecast is 95 degrees at kickoff. But what's the story with your guys' uniform situation where you wanted to get to all white or something, and then just how have you prepared for?
When I was in the East Coast, that was such a big deal. Being in Tampa Bay and things like that, you'd always want to wear those whites early in the year. Didn't have to worry about that much out here, but got the memo earlier in the week that it was going to be hot like this. So we asked on Monday, and we weren't allowed to do it. You had to do it before the season started. So in order for us to do it, we kind of got to make like a conscious decision or a commitment before the year that we wear all whites until like the middle of October or whatever, and then go to normal. But it's not usually this hot, but we'll probably do that now just in case.
So you guys are going to have white pants though?
Yeah, they'll let us do our throwbacks, just alternate it with other ones. So we'll get as much white on as possible, and the most we possibly can do is white pants. So hopefully it helps a little.
Just guessing hydration is what you're...
Yeah, that's everything. That's what we keep saying.
Will more guys get pregame IVs? Is that a thing?
I would assume so. Each person's different. Sometimes when you push IVs a lot, then people think they don't have to hydrate at all, and they just depend on the IV. So we're not preaching all that yet, but that's usually what you do in these situations. A number of guys do it just as a routine anyways on Sundays. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot more are doing it this Sunday.
In the Southeast, in Texas, in college, did you ever do that?
Always. Yeah, always.
Make you feel like
Better.
after you get it?
Better. I still do it. If I had too much fun the night before.
Had that thing with the uniform said it had never come up before this week?
No, we've never known in advance how hot it was going to be, and honestly, since I've been here, it never seems too hot. I feel like even on the hottest days, I still need a hoodie at some time during that day. But this week has felt different, and I truly believe Sunday's going to. So it's the first time we've really looked into it, and I think that's been a rule for a little bit. We just had to get reminded on it.
A rule that you have to commit before the
season starts. Yeah.
You guys have 2 games in 5 or 6 days, or whatever it is, 4 days. I know you're always gearing everything towards the next game, but in a situation like this, do you take some of your staff and say, hey, we want you guys to look at Seattle and get going on Seattle so you don't have to start from...
Yeah, guys, there's so much, busy work that needs to be done so you can evaluate people the right way. Just how our cut-ups are done, all the stuff that you got to input in a computer, so you know the areas to look at. So, guys work on that stuff usually all day Monday. And we get going on the rest. It's Monday night once we put the game to bed from the day before. And then you get all day Tuesday to really do that stuff. And now you're cramming a whole week into one day. So those guys can't be doing any busy work. As soon as we come in early on Monday, we're going right away. So guys got to get that stuff done in advance. But in terms of like studying and getting your creativity and trying to get prepared for that, I've never done it personally. I just, I don't like to mix things together. I like to be all in on one thing, and no matter how little of time you can commit, you can get all in on something else, especially when you get 3 days off after it.
Arizona ran for about 240 against you guys last year. You won the game. What makes their running game such a handful?
They got a good scheme. They got a really good quarterback. A really good running back. And then they got a really good quarterback who's a threat on every single play. Whether he runs any, you always got to honor him. And when you play 11-on-11 football in the run game, something that you don't have to do week in and week out, and that always makes it a more challenge. And what they do schematically, and James Conner is a stud, so all of it together.
You've got a lot of guys who are very into health and sleep and all those type of things. Juszczyk is maybe the leader of that. I don't know if that's true or not, but how does that manifest itself? What do you notice that he does just to make sure he can play at 33 and beyond?
Just him in particular, he's just extremely smart. He's very detailed on everything he does. Like, just the way those guys prepare and all year around, really. They don't just do it in football season. But I learned stuff just listening to them, just not to be an athlete, but how to be a healthy person, what they put in their bodies. They know everything that goes in their body. And just the recovery, everything they do. Like, Juice definitely is one of the top in it. Christian is, Fred, Bosa, like all these guys it's become such a big deal. And when you have guys who have the success they have, it's so cool for us as an organization, because young guys come in, they see it, they ask questions, and just hanging around those guys, I think collectively our team gets so much better at all that stuff.
What have you incorporated that's healthier? Can you share?
Me?
Yeah.
I sleep more in the off season. I drink more water. Doesn't work as much for me. I put some stretch things in my office, but that's about it. I use it once a week. Mainly just stresses me out that I don't do it. But if you get really out of shape for a while, your body gets used to it, and you don't feel as bad. That's kind of my secret. Guys who are in real good shape and they miss like a week of working out, they feel miserable. But if you can tough through that for like a couple more months, then it just becomes natural. So, all right, there you go. All right, guys.
Faithful, you're in for a treat this Sunday as the 49ers celebrate Alumni Weekend at Levi Stadium. Here's everything you need to know heading into game day. First, join us for a pregame alumni procession featuring members from the legendary 1984 and 1994 teams. Then one of the youngest stars in mariachi, Mateo Lopez, will be performing the national anthem ahead of kickoff. At halftime, we honor the one and only Patrick Willis. He'll be receiving the Pro Football Hall of Fame Ring of Excellence for joining this year's class of greats. All of the stars will be in the building this Sunday to cheer on the Niners against the Cardinals, and we can't wait to see you there. As always, go Niners!
All right, so that's what's going to be going on Sunday. The video feed we got there, courtesy from 49ers.com. So this Sunday will be a 49ers alumni weekend. Niners taking on the Arizona Cardinals. They're going to honor both the night that it's this year, the 30-year anniversary of the 49ers' last Super Bowl win, 1994. It could be ironically, they're going to be wearing their 1984 throwback uniforms once they won their last Super Bowl win when they beat the San Diego Chargers. So they'll be wearing their 1994 throwback uniforms because of the heat wave anyway. And then they're going to honor the 94 team and the 1984 49ers team. The 84 team, of course, and 40 years ago they won their they became the first team in the history ever in the National Football League to win 15 games in the regular season. Then, of course, they were the first to go 18-1, 18 in a season, including the postseason, which culminated them with their 38-16 win over the Miami Dolphins in Super Bowl 19 down at Stanford Stadium. You could look on the far on this right up here. This was their Super Bowl 19 NFC champion pennant from Super Bowl 19, of course, was played at Stanford Stadium. And, of course, throughout this entire season, we're going to pay homage to the Super Bowl champions of the past, and not to mention the fact 1989 was a Super Bowl season. They went on to win back-to-back Super Bowls in their domination in the postseason. They go 14-2 in the regular season. That team also went undefeated on the road that year, and then, of course, they dominated. They beat the Broncos in Super Bowl 24 down at the Superdome in New Orleans, 55-10. As they dominated the John Elway and the Denver Broncos. And then, of course, 1984, the 49ers go on to win their fifth Super Bowl in franchise history with their win over the San Diego Chargers in Super Bowl 29 in Miami, 49-26. And also throughout this entire year, we're going to be doing Niners on our 49ers flashback. We're going to pay homage to the three best 49er teams of all time. We'll do another round next week. We'll do week when we continue to honor the 1984 49ers. That was, of course, the year they will go back to week number 6 when they're taking on the New York Giants at the Meadowlands in East Rutherford, New Jersey on Monday Night Football. Then we'll later in the week we'll go to week number 4 or week 5. The Niners taking on the New Orleans Saints at the Superdome in New Orleans. Then we'll look at week 6 when the 49ers taking on the Detroit Lions up at the Pontiac Silverdome. That same site was the Niners' first Super Bowl win back in after the 1981 regular season in January 1982, when the Niners take on the Detroit Lions for week 6 from their 30-year anniversary. In addition, I know this is a fun exercise. Every flashback game we look at from each week of those Super Bowl seasons, we will also give you a full scoreboard of the NFL from that week of their Niners Super Bowl season as well. So this is a fun exercise. And like I said, check us out on youtube.com/@NinersRadio49. And please click the subscribe button. Our mission is to get 1,000 subscribers, and we're just working, chomping by the bit to improve this product of Niners Radio 49. As also a win-win is the association affiliate with the Satellite Digital Media News Network. So let's continue on Niners Radio 49 as we get ready to preview the Niners and the Cardinals. We're going to get some video from the head team headquarters. Niners taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Important divisional game. They need to keep within a game before they play head-to-head with the Seattle Seahawks, as we'll load that up in just a moment. So this Sunday, 49ers taking on the Arizona Cardinals. It's Alumni Weekend. And we're going to, as of now, we're going to share some of this video or share as the Niners get ready to take on the Cardinals for this Sunday. It's going to be a 1:05 kickoff time, and we're going to share you the video right. We're going to share that video, and here's Niners wide receiver Deebo Samuel, also George Kittle, Talanoa Hufanga, and they all talk about the Niners' strategy against the Cardinals.
What do you see on tape from Arizona?
Number one guy that stand out on their defense is Buda. But overall, they try to keep a lot of things in front. Pretty good tacklers, and overall they do a pretty good job.
It's good to look about the same as
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right, cool.
Deebo, you obviously you started out running back last game. You saw time at kick returner, wide receiver. Are you enjoying the versatility and the multiple roles you get to do in this?
I asked this a million times, but
What? Yeah.
but for sure. Anyways, kind of get the ball in my hands. I'm pretty cool with it.
What do you think about how Jawan's coming out? I know you know he's always been who he is, but he's really kind of had a chance to show out this year.
Yeah. It's kind of nothing new for me. I always said whenever the opportunity presents itself, I just want to go out there and make plays, and even doing that is just consistent to anybody in the league right now.
Saw them mic'd up that Brock said I could have led you a little bit more on that deep pass. Could he have a tiny bit on that play?
Like what? I mean, if he said he could, he could have.
The temperature might be over 90, which would be a record here at Levi
From the
Stadium.
south, man.
No problems.
Nah, no problem. We'll be all right.
Does training in the South help you get ready for that?
Well, I be training in Arizona. Arizona hot, real hot. So, but it's still hot. 90 degrees is still hot. But it's football weather. We dealt with it in camp, and we're just gonna go out here and put on a show.
The last 2 days of practice probably the hottest, hotter than camp though, yeah?
Yeah, it'll be hot.
How has JP Mason looked for you?
Kind of hard to explain JP because he's doing a lot of people say like he had big shoes to fill, but in his offense, like you never know when it's your opportunity, and I feel like when it's his chance that he's filled those shoes, it's just as best as anybody I've seen with things, the way he makes tackles, the decision he makes when he got the ball, and overall he's just playing ball right now.
How do you feel like the offensive line is doing?
They're doing pretty good.
You got a rookie up there.
They're doing pretty good. Nah, Pony is, I seen him early on preseason, but like I just said, you don't even know he's a rookie the way he's playing right now.
A month in, definitely deserves it.
What is it about his game that you admire?
Just his work ethic. I think he comes in, he's the same person every day, and for a young guy like me to come in and be in year two, just to see him, be who he is and not change anything that he does and the successes that he has is just amazing, and that's what we try to reach every day.
These next couple of games, divisional games, and I know, Fred wants to play. That remains to be seen. But in that linebacker meeting, you could be wearing the green dye.
No, not the green dot, but definitely playing for sure. Definitely excited for this weekend. Ready to show up for my opportunity and go out there and give it all I got.
It's the challenge of facing Kyler Murray, and is that something that every young linebacker wants to take on and spy him or go after him?
Yeah, I think it's a good team, good quarterback. Definitely faster. So I'm definitely looking forward for the challenge.
You've been kind of dealing with a few injuries throughout the season. Fred Warner came in saying that you were the most impressive linebacker all preseason. So how exciting is it to kind of get out there this weekend?
Yeah, it's just finally good to be back, almost fully healthy. So I'm just going out there to do my job and, put my best foot forward and, put, the best thing on tape for this team.
Speaking of on tape, back to Kyler Murray, is it really like chasing a squirrel?
Just about, he has the quickness, the speed, he can do it all, and, create separation for the receivers with all the running that he does. So he does a good job back there.
Well, for starters, how are you feeling, the ribs?
I feel great today. Howdy.
Another week, another challenge.
Yes, sir.
Arizona Cardinals, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts? Well, you know what? I think as a team, they've really, I'm a huge fan of their head coach and, the system he built last year. And you could tell by the end of the year, they all kind of bought into his system and the way that they were playing. And they were significantly better at the end of the year than they were at the start. So, like, they've taken steps to being a good team. Other than this year, like, they beat the crap out of the Rams early on. And then they go, and they had a tough one last week against the Commanders. But, like, they're a good team who has very talented players. Like, Kyler Murray is incredible. Just the way he plays quarterback, the way that you have to, really keep him in the pocket and don't let him use his legs, but he also can throw the ball 60 yards on a line. He's a very talented player, and so their offense has a bunch of problems. James Conner's a really good running back. They have Marvin Harrison Jr., so like they have a really good offense. And then their defense is super confusing. Buda Baker's still, in my opinion, like one of the best safeties in the NFL by far. And it's the way they use like their three safeties, and it looks like they're playing cover 5, but then they rotate guys, they blitz guys, they make it very confusing. It's hard to target. So they're a tough team to play against, and it's a division rival too. So we've seen each other a bunch. It's going to be a good challenge for us, but I like our game plan, and I think we have a good one coming for us.
Well, we're almost seeing before our very eyes, and you could speak to this as well as anybody, that ball that Brock Purdy threw the back of the end zone to you. Perfect spot. You're the only guy who really had a chance to make that catch. But I thought the one where he rolled out to his left and threw back to his right, and it was kind of a low throw. It was to you, I believe, and he kind of picked it up. What are you seeing about his development? I mean, is it time that people can stop saying system quarterback and Mr. Irrelevant and all that kind of crap?
I saw a good one. I occasionally check Twitter. I saw a good one. It was like, Brock leads the league in air yards, but, we're 31st in yak, which is not really usual for the 49ers. So we obviously have to be better at yak, but he's obviously delivering when he needs to deliver. And it's really fun seeing him make all these plays with his legs, because that just gives us a whole different dimension of 49er football, because we run the ball really well, we throw the ball well, but when he's out there, scurrying around, it makes us a little bit more dangerous. So I'm all for that, and I love seeing that from him. Yeah.
What about him? What sort of things? Do you like a long history?
Yeah, for sure.
Fun to go up against a guy year after year?
Is it fun? The competitive side of it, definitely fun. I'd rather not play him. He's like one of those guys. He's a very talented player. I think what really separates Buda is his on every single play.
Oh, here we go.
Few guys in the NFL to do it. And he also, you might think he's a small player, but he hits just as hard as anybody that I've seen. And I felt that, yeah. He hits pretty hard.
In this business where it's, take it one game at a time.
Why do you say it like that, Vern?
Well,
Is that like coach talk?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
What's the challenge of immediately having to snap into another divisional game 4 days after Sunday?
It's one game at a time. I'm focused on the Arizona Cardinals right now, Vern.
Thank you, Bill Belichick.
Ask the question another way. What's the focus? What's the challenge of focusing on this game, knowing you have another one 4 days away?
The biggest thing is just making sure your body is as good as it can be, because when we played on Sunday, you're playing 3 games in 12 days, and that's a lot of football. So what Coach Shanahan has always preached since I've been in the league, and it took me a while to understand that, was sleep's the most important thing. So hey guys, try not to stay up late playing NBA 2K. Please go to sleep at a good time, get your body maintenance in, get off your feet as much as possible, watch as much film as possible, and just be ready for this game, because as soon as the game's over, the way that next week's going to hit you with the information and everything, it's if you're not ready for it, you're going to fall so far behind, and it's just you're not going to be ready for it, and then that's how you don't play well on Thursday. So we're focused on this one, but just be ready to get going quickly next week.
When you watched the film of your touchdown catch,
yes,
what did you like best about it, other than obviously finishing the catch? But
what did I like best about it?
When you were watching it,
landing in bounds was my favorite. Yeah. That was probably because I knew.
You know how tight you were to it?
No, I did see it on the way down. I was like, I'm going to land in bounds on this, so that is really fun. So I was smiling on my way down and laughing, so that was pretty fun for me.
Did it almost happen in slow motion while it was going on?
It does every time. It's always in slow motion. It's always a fun thing. But yes.
It's now being, the picture is on T-shirts at the NFL selling.
Is it? They didn't tell me that.
Yeah, get a cut.
I hopefully. That'd be nice. Where were you at?
I was talking to Chris first.
Oh, my God. That's worth
He
it.
said to tell you how.
Did he?
Yeah.
I don't know. Ask him next time what God's play is.
God's play?
Yeah, on a football field.
Well, let's maybe just the fact that you guys, Yank-wise, aren't where you usually are. You're still obviously very productive and just in kind of a different way. Is there anything you put your finger on for why that is?
I think the teams that we've played currently so far are teams that are like bend up, don't break, so they keep everything in front of them. And so it's hard to get past them all the time. So you have to do a lot of short things in front. I think teams are doing a really good job they're very aware of our team and the threats that we have. And I think they're just doing a really good job about playing really tight and not, getting 2-3 guys on every ball carrier. But there's plays out there that we've had an opportunity to make yak on. Like, I think our guys, Debo, Ayuk, myself, Mason, Juice, like we do a good job of breaking tackles, and maybe we haven't broken as many tackles that we should. So, I don't think it's all on our team, but like we have individual guys that can play a little bit better, and I think we're going to continue to play better. But I think it'll open up, and I think we'll just keep getting into football shape and like that football conditioning, and we'll eventually get the yak back.
I think you guys have like double the amount of dropbacks with the other team rushing just 3 or even fewer. Is that part of what you're talking about? Like you're seeing more.
There's just a lot, yeah.
Up the middle of the field kind of stuff?
It's just like there's not a lot of true like one-on-ones. Like teams are dropping 7, 8, and then whenever you catch a football, there's 2 guys on you. So like there's an opportunity like you drop 7, you can fall forward for 5 yards, but there's not as much cover 1, cover 0 that are going against us. So like guys that catch a ball, break 1 tackle, and Debo's going 75 yards to the house. But that'll come.
George, what did Buda Baker look like in the Washington game?
Say again?
What did Buda Baker look like to you in the Washington game?
Which Oh, come in. He went to Washington, so I was like, you talking college ball right now? Jeez Louise. I was like, I don't no idea. They are in the Big Ten now, though, so I could place a friendly wager, I guess. Every time I see Buda play, like I'm a huge fan of his game. He never slows down. He hits everybody. The times that like the last couple times the Cardinals have beaten us, he goes for 15 to 20 tackles. And so the game plan is don't let Buda make every tackle and make the other team make the rest of the players beat us. Good? Thanks, guys.
Did you ever get to the bottom of the James Conner post-game beef with last year, I think it was?
Oh, yeah, nah.
Did you ever figure out what his issue was?
Man, I think it's just competitive nature at the end of the day. We go back and look at the film. We're competitive. We go against each other. It's my 3rd year going against. Last year was my 3rd year going against him. So I don't see the beef there. I think it was just something for us just to go at. But I'm not going in there with hard feelings. I'm just ready to play ball.
Do you expect a big dose of him in this game for them to lean on their running game a lot?
Oh, definitely. If you look at the games that they've been successful in for the most part, they really run the ball really well. So they run heavy. They try to get to 30 to 40 attempts. And so our job is to limit those attempts. And if we can, that's our goal. So.
Performance.
Oh, it was amazing. Oh, that man Malik, he'd be flying around. Y'all see how he hit the lineman. We thought that was one of the coolest things in the world. Just his energy, the way he's been a sponge. He really absorbs a lot of knowledge, and so that's the really cool thing. And all the questions he asked and stuff. So really excited for him when he got his op. He went in there and just made the most of it.
I was going to ask him, what is he like in the room?
He's very. He understands everything. Pretty quiet, but if you get to know him really well, like that's the cool part. Like I've gotten to since he first came out here, that was one of the guys that I reached out to immediately. Like come to my house, come hang out, do whatever you gotta do. Like make sure he knows he's far away from home too. So I understand that as a young kid just coming into the league, like he understands what he does. But in the film room, he gets the job done. So but he's quiet, but if you get to know him, he's really funny.
So 2022 was your big breakout year, but talking about Malik as a rookie, what happened in 2021? What did the defense and the team do well to integrate you into the defense that year to set the table for you to be as good as you were in 2022?
Definitely was a lot of like the dime package. D'Amico put me in, and so it was funny because my rookie year I learned like 4 different positions. So it's like coming in, it's like that's where they said like they put a lot on my plate early on. For me to just learn, and if I can learn it and be successful with it, they understood when I go to my one safety spot, you should be pretty smart when it comes to those things. But that's where I really had to take my step at that young age, and it helped me really understand the defense. So going into my 2nd year, I understood like who's supposed to be in what gap, what's supposed to happen, where are the weakness parts of the defense and stuff like that. And so that was where I think they set me up right in 2021 for sure.
A lot of talk has been about Kyler Murray, but at some point you're going to run into James Conner. What kind of problem does he present?
Big bruiser, big back, can get downhill quick, very elusive. I think that's one thing he's been doing a lot this year really well. Once he gets to that second level, he's making guys miss. And so definitely got to get him on the ground. I think it's going to be a hell of a game, a hell of a competitor. I'm just excited to play against him.
There's been a lot of attention on the defensive line this year. Part of it due to injury, part of it I know they didn't play a couple times up to their standards. Now they get 6 sacks last week. How does that help you guys in the secondary? I know you weren't playing last week, but when they're doing their job, how does that help you guys?
Definitely, for us, it's, there's a timer out there, and so, if they can get to the quarterback as quick as possible, if we can cover for just an extra second so they can get back and get home, that's what we want to do in the back end, but definitely up front, guys that are stepping up. Sam O came in big time last week, creating turnovers and stuff like that. That's stuff that we want and what we need, and at all 3 levels it counts. So just excited that we're playing good defense as a unit. For sure.
How did your body respond from the first game back? And just how you feel?
It felt good, honestly. It was actually, I surprised myself how many plays I played, because they told me to go out there and I was on a rep, not really a rep count, but like whenever I felt like I needed to take off, I had to come out a couple times, but I played over 50 snaps, which caught me off guard, but I went out there and felt good. Yeah.
You address Kyler Murray and as a linebacker or a defensive back and get caught in that no man's land where you think he's going to want you to come up and then all of a sudden he throws one over you. Yeah. But that kind of unique kind of challenge, what does he present to you personally?
Definitely, I think a lot of guys in the league, when you got the dual threat mentality, guys like Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen and stuff like that, you have to go into this game with the mindset that he has at any point he can run. And so you got to treat him like a receiver, a DB running, running back running, sorry. But at the end of the day, he can throw it over your head too. I think his baseball arm, and he's throwing that thing as far as he can. So we just got to get him down and create turnovers when we have an opportunity.
So that's, you heard from Friday in the locker room down at, it was Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Talanoa Hufanga. They all talk about how to stop the Arizona Cardinals. And just a reminder, coming up on Sunday, 49ers will be taking on the Arizona Cardinals in an important divisional game. If you do have plans to go out to the stadium, the weather forecast, another heat wave going to hit the Bay Area this weekend. It's supposed to hit up to 95 degrees at game time at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. It's been a big heat wave to October, Indian summer tradition in the Bay Area. There'll be a big-time heat advisory. Please make yourself extra time to get out to the stadium. It's going to be a scorcher. And again, the 49ers will be wearing their 1994 color rush throwback uniforms of their Super Bowl season 30 years ago. Not to mention the fact they will be honoring both the 1984 and 94 Super Bowl teams. That's going to be a special treat. Hope you could go out there to the Mecca on Sunday. I'll be out there taping our next 49ers tailgate show. We have the one for this past week, a recap when they played the New England Patriots. You can catch that previous episode on youtube.com/@NinersRadio49. And we're going to have some more content coming in. I'll be taping my show for Sunday. And then we'll have our 49ers Live post-game we'll be over at the Hilton, at the Hyatt Regency Hotel, right across the street from the stadium. Immediately following the game, we'll have our post-game recap. We will have your phone calls as well after the game. So that and the Niners and the Cardinals Sunday kickoff 105. The game will be on Fox and locally on KTVU Fox 2, and it will be Kevin Burkhardt and Tom Brady will give you the play-by-play action out at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. So please make yourself some extra time, and please drink plenty of water. It's going to be a scorcher out in the Bay Area on Sunday. Another heat wave supposed to expect to be throughout this weekend. So there you have it. This is the way how it went tonight on 49ers Live. I'd like to thank my special guest, David Murphy from Big Sky Sports, as he covers the Arizona Cardinals. Check him out on his platform, Big Sky Sports. And for us, then after this game, we'll be right back at it on the 10th. The Niners take on the Seahawks, and we'll be on location for Niners Radio 49 for our next podcast, or will be Niners Radio 49 postgame after the Niners Seahawks on Thursday, the 10th, on October the 10th. So for the latest news on 49ers News, so much more, go to 49ers.com. Check us out at youtube.com/@NinersRadio49. And just continue to build this thing. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Our mission, our goal is to get 1,000 subscribers. And you get all kinds of, watch all the interviews, podcasts, past and present, as we continue to build this thing into a not only local and nationally, but globally as well. So that's it for now. Brian Professor B. Davis. Thanks for Dave Murph from the Big Sky Sports, as he covered not only the Arizona Cardinals, but all Arizona sports. We'll get him on another time, non-related Cardinals stuff, on our sister network, Satellite Digital Media. For now, I'm Brian Professor B. Davis. Thank you for watching 49ers Live Tonight. 49ers Live Tonight is a presentation of Niners Radio 49 in association with the Satellite Digital Media News Network, where every team that has a fan and every team that has a voice, the network home of champions. And I'd like to wish all of you a very pleasant good evening. Take care, everybody.